Jeff, please introduce me to every aspect of my life. That's fantastic. The counterfeit note, which is right over here. Take a good gander at that. The counterfeit note reminds me of deception. Deception of affluence, deception of kindness, deception of distraction are all here. It also shows the good and bad of deception. This object reminds me of my experiences with deception. Deception of love. But more importantly, this is how I came to have a one-night stand with a secret agent man. Back in 2009, I was 22, and I had just broken up with my first serious boyfriend. I assumed and thought that we would be together forever, but I realized that our love was counterfeit. It had the appearance of love. To others, we were in love. At times, I even felt love, but it was empty. It was imitation. So, breaking up with him was incredibly difficult. He was emotionally abusive. He was a master manipulator, and he used love to delude me of his philandering. But I found the strength to finally end it, and when I did, I promised myself that I was not going to be in a relationship with anyone for an entire year. However, I'm not completely pious, and well, a gal needs to have fun, especially when she's in college. So, I'm 22, my junior year, I'm in DC for a communications conference, and I have the whole entire weekend to myself. So, my friend Christine and I go to the bar, we have a drink. 2 tall glasses of water walk in. They sit down, we make eye contact, we smile, we whisper girlishly to each other, and then they get up and they sit down and we start talking. I hit it off right away with one of them. I don't really know what it was, but there was just something about him that made me feel genuine and comfortable. And we hit it off so well that I agreed to go out with him the next night. He picked me up. He brought me back to his place. He made me dinner. And we talked. We really talked. We talked about everything. We talked about politics. We talked about science. We talked about movies, my studies. We talked about coordinated management of meeting, whatever that was. But we really talked. But I could see there was this apprehension in him, like he was holding something back. And an awkward silence fell between us. Lord knows I hate an awkward silence, so I blurted out, "What, are you a CIA agent or something?" He looked like I just shot his cat. He quietly answered yes, and I loudly and awkwardly laughed. I could see, though, that he was serious, and then he just opened up. He told me that he was a refugee from Egypt, and as he was seeking asylum in the United States, the government found out that his family had terroristic ties. In order for him to come to the United States, he had to keep ties with them, and he had to provide that information to the government. The conditions of his freedom was deception. What? There's no way I could believe that. But he goes on. He's highly intelligent. He speaks 4 languages. He has military combat training. He's the cookie cutter of CIA agents. And I was the first person that he said any of this to. It was like a weight was lifted off of him, and then the conversation turned. He talked about how he couldn't keep living this lie anymore. He didn't know what was good or what was evil, and he couldn't continue to deceive his family, especially his mother. And then he told me that he had intelligence that his family members found out about him and that they were going to kill him. And he also believed that the U.S. government wasn't going to protect him, especially and obviously if he went AWOL. If he stayed in the United States, he could die. If he went back to Egypt, he would die. Again, I'm dumbfounded. I'm in complete disbelief. It was palpable, but as casually as if showing me a family album, he shows me his gun, his building credentials, and the files that the CIA had on their family. He kept them in his underwear drawer. He then looks at me, and he said he was tired of hiding. He was tired of lying. He was tired of the deceit. He didn't believe in the ideals of his family, but he didn't believe in the ideals of the agency he was working for either. He said to me, "You're the kindest person I've ever met here. And I'm pretty sure and I know that I'm never going to see you again. So if it's not too much trouble, can we have the time of our lives tonight?" And we did. Oh my God, we did. I took so many shots of Hennessy. We danced in every club in DC. And then we slept together. And then the next morning, he gently woke me up and he brought me back to my hotel. And as I was getting out of the car, he said, "I hope you have a beautiful life and may every good thing come to you." And I never saw him again. My secret agent man showed me that love and deceit are complicated. It's not all good, it's not all bad. It took me a really long time to understand what love is. But when I was finally able to wade through the counterfeit notes of love, Tinder dates, terrible boyfriends, and beautiful secret agent men, I was able to find myself, and I was able to find the man that I'm going to marry. Thank you.